And this is very slick stuff they're trying to do, I promise you. And they're using mathematics to do it. Okay? When it comes to GLP-1 drugs, you need to be very careful about what you do. The mechanisms that's behind these drugs, we now have 4,300 lawsuits about the Ozempic and Mounjaro drugs. When the next drug that gets put out, which is Retta, and it's not FDA approved yet, but this is the one they're trying to sell to you right now, that it blocks 3 different agonists. I'm just going to tell you, this is the one that you probably need to be the most concerned about. So if your friends and family are on it, I'm okay if you want to take this drug after you know the risks. I guarantee there's a lot of people in this room that were fucking idiots and rolled their sleeves up to take the jab too. But I support your decision to do that as long as you had informed consent. Here's my issue. There was no informed consent with any of these drugs. Because the same effect that's happening in my world, in centralized medicine, with the GLP-1 drugs, you guys have no idea every day the destruction that we're seeing from these drugs. They're significant. There's a study out from the Blau lab where it destroys their muscles. Let me explain something to you that I think all of you know. When we send an astronaut to space, within 3 days they get tinnitus in their ears. Within 3 days they start to see spots in their eyes. Within 7 days they get muscle loss. If they stay up a month, they lose 20% of their muscle mass. If you use a GLP-1 drug, that happens to you. And here's the worst part, it destroys your stem cells. So guess what? When you get off the drug, you can't recover from it. And it turns out the next generation of the drugs that are not FDA approved yet, which is Retta, which everybody can buy from their latest bro science guy. I mean, but you guys need to know that. And if you decide that you want to do that, I'm perfectly fine with it. But I don't want any of you to say, well, nobody told me. The doctors in Europe, they're being paid to put you on this drug. Novo Nordisk is printing more money than my government in the United States with GLP-1 drugs. It is the most dangerous class of drugs I've ever seen. Why? Because it turns you into an astronaut on the planet. All the same complications that astronauts get, it's called nanion, flattened optic nerves, bleeding in the brain, screwing with your retina, extreme muscle loss. Anybody take a look at the Osbournes lately?
Yeah.
They look like walking Skeletors.
They do. And Sharon even said,
right.
She said she stopped it and it's not stopping.
Correct. It doesn't stop.
And it just continues going. Exactly what you said. Just losing the mass and everything.
But you're losing your stem cells. But
yeah.
what of the ladies in the audience need to know? It ruins your face. Ruins the facial structure. So now in the thing in the United States, I don't know if it's got to Europe yet, because I don't think you guys are as fat as we are in the United States. The reason why we're fat, which we should also talk about, goes, let me tell you what the big story between the United States food and European food is. In 1940, Rockefeller decided, how can I sell more drugs to the United States? So they came up with this drug that I think all of you heard, glyphosate. You guys have done a way better job than we have. We glyphosated the entire breadbasket of the United States. That put deuterium in our food. So our food is different than your food. But you know what the problem is? Who controls, who teaches the doctors? The Rockefeller medicine through the Flexion Report. 1911, who paid for that? European guy. Who was that? Carnegie. And then who picked up the charge? Rockefeller. And what did they do? They changed every school in the United States. Then they put it in your schools in the Western world. Everybody in this room likely is there. So they're impotent. Your doctors are impotent to understand that deuterium is what actually makes us fat. It's not fucking exercise. It's not your diet. It's when you put deuterium in food, it makes you fat. And you want to hear the crazy story? Most of you know the baby comes out of the vagina, the back of the neck here. You learn about brown fat. Brown fat is how you do cold thermogenesis. And remember, when the baby comes out of your vagina, I'm looking at all you ladies here, it's a big goo of fat, right? It can't do anything. The baby uses that fat to make the brain. That's what happens for postnatal development. But what else did we find out about deuterium just in the last 5 years? When you put deuterium in white fat, you know what it does? It expands the white fat mass. Guess what else it does? When you put deuterium in white fat, it makes you fatter. And guess what? I went to medical school in the United States. I never learned that. Never. I talked to all my doctor friends. I said, when I shared the paper with them on Twitter, I said, tell me, read this. What does it say? Then the fiat doctors on the other side, I just want to put them on a GLP-1 drug.